It's time for another Dice Tower review with Zee Garcia.
Hey folks, today we are taking a look at Indigo. Indigo here is a tile-laying, path-building game in which you are trying to score the most points by building this beautiful board in front of you. Let me show you very briefly how the game works, and then I'll tell you what I think of this one. The objective of the game is to get the most victory points. You're going to be getting those by laying down tiles and having these marbles move around the board and come off the board where your gates are. And they are denoted by having your color tokens at those gates. Once all of these tokens have made their way off the board, we see who has the highest score, and that player is the winner. The tricky part here is that each gate is sometimes owned by a single player or by two players. So this gate here is owned just by blue. Blue has both tokens there. However, this gate, blue shares that gate with the white player. And over here we have red sharing a gate with the white player as well. And so every player has one that's their own and one that they share with another player. And this is a 3-player setup. That's slightly different, but there are for the different number of players. But there are always some that are shared. And so that's the way that works. On your turn, you are going to, everybody has been given one of these tiles to start the game with, and they all have various path combinations, as you can see here. And so, on your turn, you take your tile, let's say this is my tile, and you are going to place it somewhere on the board, all right? You can place it anywhere you want to, as long as it touches something like this, and so I could do that, and then one of these green marbles is going to start moving down, and then I'll draw one. And then the next player could play, let's say, this one, and they could put it here. And then this yellow one will start moving. So anytime you play in front of one, you will move that stone ahead on its own path, okay? The only thing you are not allowed to do is you are not allowed to use one of these to play like so and block someone's entrance, basically make it go to itself because it's a huge hindrance. So the game does not allow for that, but everything else you can play whatever you want, wherever you want. And so you play and then you draw a new tile, keep it in your hand. The game in fact comes with these screens, very pretty screens that are just used basically for denoting what color you are, for hiding your gems behind there, and on the back they tell you an explanation of your turn, which is very simple. If you see on here, the game is going to be over, as I said, when all of these have made their way off the board. And at the end of the game, you get a point for each yellow, you get 2 points for each green, and you get 3 points for each blue. The blue one, there's a single blue here in the middle, and so it will be the last one to leave from the middle. And so if someone else plays here, then this green goes. And if someone plays here, then this green goes, and so on. The last one off of there will be that blue. Obviously, since there are places that are shared, if a stone makes it out of one of those places, then there are extra stones in the box that can be given to the players that share that gate. So that, ooh, that's bad stuff. So that you don't have to remember that you have an extra one. So this comes off of here. That is not whites only. Both blue and white would get one. So you just reach in the box, you find another one, and both of these players get a stone. And that's pretty much the way the game works. Fill up the board, get all these stones off the board. Once the last one comes off, add up your score. Highest score is the winner of Indigo. This is one of those games that doesn't even attempt to give you a theme, right? Most of these tile-laying games about connections are about, subways, or they are about water, aqueducts, and things like that. This one doesn't care. It's abstract. It knows that. It's also extremely pretty. You can see that for yourself, but I find the game to be a looker. It's a great-looking game, and it's pretty quick. It's got a nice flow to it, and of course the clever aspect of it being that you share places with other players. So if you see that you're not quite going to make it alone, you can talk to that person you share a gate with and go, hey, come on, we'll score it together. Come on. You can do that thing. And so I enjoy the game a lot. I've played it in family settings. I've played it in non-gamer settings, just with friends, at parties and things like that. And it goes over really well. Gorgeous game. One of my favorite tile-laying connection games. And so, thumbs way up from me. Really neat game. Check this one out if you are looking for something that comes across as regal and beautiful. I think Indigo fits that bill. It can be played with a lot of people, just about anybody, and plays quick, and it is beautiful. So, from Dr. Reiner Knizia, thumbs up for Indigo.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at Dicetowernetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.